Blessings and welcome back, family. How many of you recognize this? Do we understand the functions of what the rod and the staff actually are? In Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That verse has always stuck with me for quite some time, and I really wanted to understand what the rod and the staff were and why they bring comfort. A lot of people use the verse of the spare the rod, spoil the child as a means to use that to basically abuse your child and whoop them. And I'm speaking from personal experience. This is stuff that I found out like way later in life. Regardless, that's not what any of that is about. The rod is for protection and guidance. So it was a heavy club that was used to defend the flock from predators. And the staff, which is a hooked stick, was used to guide and rescue wandering sheep. And so we need to understand exactly what those aspects are in order to understand why they bring comfort, right? So, Father is actively using his shepherd to bat away enemies with the rod while he's still guiding, in the other hand, the shepherd's staff, right? And I just found this to be super important because this scripture tends to get misconstrued and not understood. And I would like to always restore things back to where they belong, which brings me to my next point of the originality of where the rod and staff, the imagery comes from. And I know most of you have probably seen on the front of like a pharaoh or an Egyptian burial that it has the guy with a rod in one hand and a staff in another, and then they create the X over their body. I'm here to say that I strongly believe that that is not where it originated. It's another perversion of the enemy. They usurped it. And the reason why I think this is because Joseph had an Egyptian burial, and after his death at age 110 in Egypt, he was embalmed and placed in a coffin. During the Exodus, before he had died, he made the Israelites swear that they would eventually take his bones with him. And centuries later, Moses did carry Joseph's coffin out of Egypt during the Exodus. So his final resting place ended up in Canaan, according to the book of Joshua. And the Israelites buried Joseph in Shechem on the plot of land Jacob had previously purchased. So it's just another perversion. And I strongly believe that Joseph's tomb, the original that he was buried in, looked much like what the Egyptian coffins look like today, or, not so much of what they look like today, but what they had looked like in the past. So basically, what I'm saying is we need to stop being afraid of signs and symbols, especially the ones that originated with Father. Most of it is a direct perversion of something that he has already established and created. And I just want everything to be restored to its rightful place. And I pray that this message blesses and edifies you and helps everyone understand exactly why the rod and the staff are a comfort. Thank you and have a blessed day.